First loop I want to show you is the while loop. The while loop basically runs a portion of your code until a certain condition is met. In this case, I'm going to run the loop until as long as the counter variable is less than 10. So the first thing I do is set it to 0. Then I create my while loop, and you'll notice put the little bracket there at the end, and put your condition within parentheses. Next thing I'll do is just print out the value of the counter and also include a line break in my code so that each number will get its own row when it prints out on the web page. And the next thing you want to do is increase your counter variable, or else you'll end up with an infinite loop. So let me run that. And you can see how it started out with 0 and continued on until it reached 10 and then stopped. So the last number that you'll see is 9. Okay, the next loop is the for loop. I created one to accomplish the same thing as the while loop, but basically I set the counter to 0, tell it I want it to continue until as long as the counter is less than 10, and increase the value of the counter by 1 each time. And just like in the while loop, I'll just print the value of the counter statement. See, it did the same thing as the while loop. Okay, another thing you can do with your loops is nest your loops. This is an example of a nested for loop. First thing I'm going to do is set up rows and columns. So it's going to, first thing it's going to do is run the row loop. So it'll set the value to 0, then it'll continue down to the next loop, and then start with the columns, and it'll increment the columns until as long as the value is less than 10. Then it'll go back to the row loop, increase the value by 1, so now the row will be the value of 1, and then it'll go through and your columns 1 through 10 once again. So you can see the value of the row started out at 0. And you can see your columns incremented up until 9, and then it continues on with the row increasing by 1 all the way to row increasing by 9. And that's all it is for creating simple loops in PHP.